All right, welcome to Solace. I'm Joseph Farrington, and today I got a special guest, Jordan Clark. Now, Jordan, you are a pro gamer, a fitness model. You got all these experiences in your belt, and what I really am excited to talk to you about is this amazing journey that I've watched you go through because I follow you on Instagram and stuff. I've watched you go on these, you reach these high peaks, and then something happens, and you get fucking dropped down to a fucking
Yeah.
pit, and then you climb back up and you're like, overcoming, and you get this amazing fire, and then you're like cruising, you're doing great, and then something happens, you hit down again and you get back up again. And it's just been so inspirational. And recently you've gone through this incredible, I think, like 60-day journey where
hmm
you've went from a little bit gordita, a little bit tubby, to now you're like in shape, you're like rocking it, man. You're fitness model and everything. And I want to hear you talk about your journey, your experiences, and kind of where you were and how you got to where you're at again. This is really inspiring to
Well,
me.
I think on this transformation journey, I'm on day like 66 or day 67.
Or you will you
Um,
have a special celebration on day 69, just for the guys, for the
just
gamers.
because you mentioned something, now I will.
69 push-ups on
Oh
day
gosh.
69.
69 squats, 69 jump ups, everything.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like you said, man, like life is like you have your ups and downs, right? So for me, I love to game. I like gaming a lot. Sometimes gaming too much it's not good for you. It's not because like for me, I'm very good at video games. I'm very
Yeah, don't be
confident when I
humble.
say
You
that.
can brag. You're
I'm
pro
very
Halo, right?
good. I pro Halo player.
Yeah.
Like I can compete in any game. Apex Legends. I was number one ranked Splitgate player and like the whole time the game was out. Um, Never really got into Call of Duty, but basically any FPS shooter game, I'm nasty at it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the problem with me is I want to be the best and I get these like dopamine like hits when I game. So like I can game for 12 hours straight and it doesn't even phase me.
Wow.
Right. Because I'm happy the whole time because I'm like, oh, I'm winning. I got people watching me. I'm making money. It's cool. It's fun. I get it. But I feel like this time around for me, my down was more of like an eye-opening experience, like not just like the physical aspect of me working out, but more so like the mental side of things.
Mm. Yeah, I've
So
watched you. You seem like you've gotten more into, and I want to hear it from your words, but from my observation, you've got more into like the mentality and
mhm.
I see you talking about manifestation and like your mindset and being in a healthy state of mind and not just a healthy body. So I want to hear about how you got to that point and like what clicked for you that was so important.
Well, I got really depressed during, I don't know, probably the last 6 months. I had a job that was awful. I ran a security company and it was every day was a nightmare. Something happened. It couldn't just be a normal day.
Yeah.
And I would come
Now,
home and I'd be just dead.
wow.
Um,
Now I watched you though. That was the same security job that at first you were really stoked for, right? And
mhm.
you're crushing it, and
I got promoted, got in there,
yeah,
and I
and you
liked
use
it for
that
like a
to you
month.
bought a house. Like you're
Yeah.
hitting all these points that in life everybody's got these goals, right? You got the
Mhm.
job, you got the house, you had the girl, but then you got to that point where it was no longer making you happy, or it just wasn't.
I did not feel like I had a drive to do anything. So like I would spend all of my time and energy at work talking to anywhere from 50 to 200 people. I had 400 employees.
Wow.
That kind of gives you an idea. So I always had 24/7, 3 o'clock in the morning, I had to answer my phone. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was my job. If I had to go somewhere because something happened and I had to go stand post, I had to go do that. So not only that, like I did board meetings for like police officers and sheriff's deputies and stuff. And then that's nerve wracking in itself. I'm not a police officer. I've never been in the military. Like that's not my background at all. But my anxiety was just through the roof. I started gaining weight really bad. This is the best shape I've ever been in, ever, first of all, which is weird to say because it's only been 60 something days since I've been working out. But I mean, shit, I sleep with my protein shakes like every day.
Under your pillow.
Yeah, under my pillow, I went for the protein fairy
Wake
to
up for a
come
little
through.
nightcap, but it's your protein. That's awesome, man.
But yeah, I mean, like, dude, here's the thing. One thing I've learned this past year is like find a job that makes you happy, because at the end of the day, nothing's worth more than your life, man. Like your job shouldn't bring you down to the point where you just hate it. Like you should want to go to work and make money. I know we all have to, but you should take the have out and make it a want.
Yeah, yeah. There's this amazing thing that inspired me a lot. It was by I don't know if you ever heard of Alan Watts, but he had
Mm-mm.
this amazing speech or this quote where he says, "The secret to enjoying life is to make work play." And find a
Mm-hmm.
way where you basically enjoy what you do. And when you go to work, it's like, all right, today I'm playing construction
And I
guy.
thought that's what I had with the gaming thing. I thought
uh,
that's what I had, but it consumed my life even more so. So like I'd come home from my main job and be like, okay, cool. I want to stream. I want to make some money. I want to see if I can make it big. I want to be, I have aspirations. I want to be this big streamer and make a lot of money. Okay. Go
yeah.
to tournaments and win. But I'd get home, bro, and I'd just be pissed. And I'd game and I'd get mad for no
Mm.
reason, none. And like I would yell at my friends if they made a mistake, because I'm like, why are you being stupid?
Because you
I
were
took
taking it
it
so seriously.
so personal and seriously. Like
Uh,
it was hard for me to find a good balance between that, because like all day I'm just wanting to do my best, but at the same time, like I really wasn't doing anything. I was just playing video games,
yeah.
right?
Well,
So
well, you're doing something that you're really good at, right? You have talent
yeah.
like immense. I've seen it. You're really good.
I mean, if you can sing, you should sing. If you can dance, you should dance. Like, regardless of what hobby it is that you're good at, you should do it. I'm not ever going to quit gaming.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a smart step backwards from it.
Gotcha. So
And
you had,
let
yeah,
me
go ahead.
elaborate on that. So, I don't game more than 2 hours at a time now. That
Mm.
is my cutoff limit. I have a timer. Once that timer goes off, I'm done. No ifs, ands, or buts. And that's a discipline thing. Sometimes I want to play longer. My friends are on, but I know that I probably should stop and go find something else to do, whether it go be run, play with my dogs, push-ups. It could be anything. Go make a meal. I mean, like there's so many other things you can do. I mean, see my door right here? I painted all my doors in my house one day because
I can't see your door, but
perfect. I'm glad you can't. It looks amazing though.
oh yeah, yeah, I'll imagine it.
um
You're like, if only you could see my
it,
door, you'd see the talent I
it's
have.
invisible. You
I
cannot
think I
see
saw.
the paint.
I'll do a photo of it in post.
Okay.
No, okay, I can see your door now. Yeah, it's blended in with the wall. It's gray. Yeah, like dark
Yeah.
gray. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just painted that, and made it look cooler. Nice.
Yeah, I painted all my doors in my house. I put up a barn door. It looks really cool. But yeah, I've been trying to do
Yeah.
like projects around my house. Like, oh, I want to do this. Okay, let's plan it. I'm gonna figure out what I need to do, because like it's a skill, right? So like gaming, yes, you learn different aspects every time you might lose a game, because you have to learn from your mistakes, and that way it doesn't keep happening. That's why I'm so good, because I play so much and I died a lot in all my games. Got really good from dying, I guess. But um I try to find something in the house I don't know how to do, and I look it up and try to learn how to do it, and I fix it. So
That's awesome. So let's go back real quick to when you were the pro Halo gamer, and
okay.
I love those photos of you. So you were in that stage, and then at that point you weren't working out at all, right? Like you had no fitness, no
No, I
healthy
was
lifestyle.
married. She was very supportive. We went to tournaments together. Like I competed every 2 to 3 months. We go to a different state and compete at a convention center. Um, I weighed about 240 pounds,
Wow.
235 ish. I was a big boy, and life happens, and I went through a divorce. And after the divorce, I lost 80 pounds in 6 or 7 months, and I fell into modeling. I had
How'd you
someone.
fall into modeling? You just like fell down, you're like, ooh,
Ooh, wow, I look great.
like, wow, I'm not pouting. That's cold steel right there. That's blue steel.
I was at work and I had a photographer ask me if I've ever modeled before, and I laughed. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's weird. And they were like, you should try it out. And I was like, I'll think about it. They came back the next day and said, hey, I booked something for you. It pays $300. Can you be here at blah, blah, blah? I was like, sure. I showed up.
Wow.
I was like, this is cake. This is easy.
No,
and I wasn't even good.
Dude,
I wasn't
wow.
even in great shape yet. Like I still didn't even really look like a model in my eyes. But yeah, so the person that invited me to go to this thing has a photography business, and I went and took some shoots at his place, and I got signed with an agency and became male model of the year in Nashville in 2017, and like I was killing it. Almost moved to LA. I had some big stuff planned out and decided not to do that. Fell in love again. Stayed here. She was a model, so we did modeling stuff together. It was fun. It was a cool experience. Life happens. I got, unfortunately, too comfortable in that relationship. I lost a lot of friendships in that during that time period, and I had to climb back out of the hole. So
do you feel like it sounds like and I don't want to like put a certain like definition
I
on
already
it,
know what you I already have a feeling. I already know what you're gonna say.
okay,
Let's hear it.
well, that when you got to these moments where you're doing really great, and then you would just start coasting and getting complacent, and it got easy, and then it almost, and then at some point it's really like you let yourself go, like you lost grip of your drive or whatever. Like for you, see, I mean, it sounds like and I've watched this, maybe and because I'm the same way, you struggle with depression, and you struggle with the kind of that side of it. And so now I'm like, oh, I struggle with depression. But when you get in that, you kind of stop.
It's a real thing, man.
Yeah. And it's like for some
thing.
of us, if you just start coasting and you lose that drive, you lose that growth, that progress for yourself, and especially the healthy balance with the body and the mind. And that's why the gym's so good for that. Is that it's like you're coasting, and all of a sudden, boom, it just hits. You didn't realize it was getting that bad. And when you got back out of that situation, tell me about how you got back up on your feet after that fell through.
Well, that time honestly, I don't feel like I fully climbed out of the hole the second time around. I don't,
like you went halfway up and felt like a little.
I got halfway up and
area.
I felt good, but I did not feel my best. And I feel like if you don't feel your best, you don't have a clear mindset. Like fitness and meditation and even journaling and just sitting down and talking to someone has to be the most important thing you can do for yourself. And that's one thing I've learned this year is like mental health is everything. Because if you don't, at my new job, people can tell. They're like, wow, you're so charismatic. Your vibes are blah, blah, blah. You would not have said that 2 months ago. Not even close. You probably wouldn't even talk to me because I didn't even look like this. First of all, if I showed you a picture right now, what I look like 2 months ago, you'd be like, it's crazy, man.
Your energy is totally different. Like now you got that fire. You got that passion.
I mean, I even told myself yesterday on the way home, I was like, holy shit, I killed work tonight. I'm like glowing. I can like feel it. Like just even walking by people, it's not just girls, it's everybody. I stand out and I'm wearing just black shirt and black pants. Like you can feel the vibe around people. And like, I talk to people all night because I'm working and I'm in a bar setting. So like I'm busy and I'm asking people what they need. And like, I'll give you an example. I walk in yesterday. It's my third week there. I look at all my bartenders like, it's going to be a great day. Super positive. One of my bartenders came in drunk last night and he got so fucked up that he couldn't even work and he got fired last night.
Did you tell him the 50 cents key thing? You never taste your own samples. What is that?
Yeah, like man.
You don't use.
He's going crazy last night. But like I could also tell talking to him, he's not mentally there at all, even before he was just drunk. Like it was, you could tell that people are going through shit in life. And like, here's the thing, everyone goes through shit.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's
Yep.
how you react to it. So you can react really bad and be sorry for yourself and get depressed, or you can look at it in a positive way and react in a good, happy manner, regardless of the situation. Because at the end of the day, if I'm negative, then it's going to reflect onto you, right? You're going
Yeah.
to see that I'm negative and you might bring you down a little bit and might bring you to that negativity field. So I'm trying to, regardless of the situation, no matter what it is, it's a positive outcome. Hey, like we can learn from whatever this is.
Awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And what was it that made you realize that that was a better way for you to go? I mean, it seems like a
Um,
dumb question, but like there's just
no,
that
it's
moment where
not.
you switch.
There was a, you're probably going to cut this out. I'll tell you, bro. I'll tell you everything, but you're going to want to cut some of it out.
That's up to you. I'm
Okay.
cool with this. Let it roll. It's whatever you.
Okay.
It's your story. You share it how you want to.
All right. So, like I said, I got really depressed, man. I got to the point where, um, got into an argument and I felt the need to not be here anymore. And I went into my room and grabbed something, and I didn't do anything, but the thought of it and me grabbing my gun scared the shit out of me
Yeah.
because I realized instantly, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I don't know. That was the night that my fiance left me. And I went through a really hard 2 months. So the whole fitness thing, working out every day and just getting mentally clear on everything. And like looking back at some of the stuff I either said or I did, now that I'm like emotionally available, is what I like to say, or showing more empathy. Because for a while there, bro, I was so depressed. I didn't give a fuck about nothing. I didn't care how you felt. It's not me. Like, that's how I was. And it's because I didn't love myself. It literally came down to the point where I was this big model, big gamer. Now cool, I got a house, but I'm not doing anything, nothing. I just go to work and I come home, go to work. I had no purpose and I didn't know who I was. And this was coming from a person that, I mean, shit, I went all the way out to LA and literally almost lived out there and got booked for movies and all kind of stuff. And like, I guess looking back, I don't have regrets. I don't, but I want to be able to look in the future and know that I have things upcoming and things that are going to bring me up. And
Yeah.
I didn't have that. It was just, I felt like my life was at a dead end pretty much. And that was my wake up call, was that night. That night was my wake up call. And I cried all night and I talked to myself and I prayed and I just needed help. And I I went to therapy and met with people. And one of the best things I could have done for myself is admit that I had a problem. Us guys go through this stuff and it is very normal. Apparently, I've talked to many people and like the world's, it's a cruel place, man. And it's unfortunately like those thoughts go through people's heads, but at the end of the day, you're definitely worth it. You bring purpose to the world, some sort of aspect, and you could bring more if you really wanted to. Because, like you said, I've been talking about manifestations and oh shit, I have some crystals that I've been wearing.
Oh,
Like,
you got the crystals, bro.
hey, yeah, I got some last
Dude, I
night.
love
Like,
like whether if that stuff works or not. I
it,
just love it.
I
It's
think
just
it's a
something.
mental thing,
Yeah,
man. Like, it
it's just
might
something
work,
cool.
but yeah, it's
I think it's how it makes you feel.
I don't
And
remember what the crystal's called, but it's a crystal to help love yourself.
nice.
So like and you can't love, if you're not loving yourself properly, then you cannot love others around you. Like, it's like I said, it's a direct reflection of yourself. So if you're negative, people are going to see the negativity. If you're loving, people are going to feel loved.
Well, yeah, there's this old saying, or basically, if your cup is empty, right? I did
Hmm.
a video on this a while back. If your
Or
cup is
half
empty,
full. Yeah.
yeah, you have nothing to give anyone else, and you're not like you have to be a full cup, right? Your glass has to be fully
Yeah.
filled. You have to have all your energy, your mentality, everything, your body, everything in like total completion, just to be a full person yourself.
Yeah.
Now, if you give of that, then like sometimes it wears down a little bit, and then you rest back up, right?
And
So if you're not a
I
full cup, you
think
don't even have
that's
anything to give anyone.
right. And I think that's another thing you have to learn to like balance out is like not giving too much of yourself away though. You have to have enough for yourself. So
Well, so here's the thing about that, right? So if you take a cup, right, and you fill it with water, and
yeah,
you just keep going, right? You hit the fill point, right? So you're good. If you keep filling, now what happens? It starts
it's
overflowing. So
overflowing.
that's the overfill spill. So that's you. You're just totally, you're in the zone. You got the vibes. You're going to work, and you're just like you said, you're having that effect on other people.
And
You're not even trying.
it's
It's
how
just
to
spilling out.
maintain that, right? It's learning how to maintain that through your entire life. And I know it's possible because I've seen people do it. I've seen, heck, my mom's happy every day. And I'm like, how? How are you happy every day? She's just that's just how she is.
That's
And
awesome.
I mean, she exercises every day, and I believe that it's a necessity in life now, not just for a physical aspect, but for a mental aspect.
Oh, dude, I totally agree with you because that's something I noticed. So I struggle a lot with depression as well in the past, and I should say in the past, I still do, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
what keeps it at bay, or what keeps me kind of sailing over it, if that's like muddy water, whatever. Um, oh man, looks like our meeting's going to end in 10 minutes.
We just restart it.
We'll just restart it.
Okay.
Apparently, I didn't upgrade to the pro version yet of this video software. But, anyways, so if it cuts out, I'll just call right back. We'll just continue if that's
Okay.
cool with you. So, I notice what keeps it at bay is me doing that daily practice, or that weekly practice of going exercising those things. I mean, it's like if I start to feeling down, and just like bad low energy, or depressed, if I start getting angry, I'm like, I need to go to the fucking gym. Like I just know it. Like I have to go lift. I got to
That's how
go
I
in there.
feel today. Like I kind of feel like I'm like a little foggy from working last night. I might need to go work out today, so I probably will, or
Yeah,
at least go for a run.
yeah,
I go
and
for
then
runs like 3 days a week.
and it's like everyone says, oh yeah, like it. When you exercise, it gives you dopamine hits. It gives boosts, I think, serotonin. It gives you these positive things,
Hmm.
but you're doing it in a way that's beneficial for you. Assuming that
Hmm.
you're not like roiding
It's
up, and
it's it's the only thing in life that no one else can do for you. Think about it.
you have to lift the weight yourself.
You are the person that has to do it, and you get rewarded for it. It's not like, oh, I sold this and made some money. Like that's cool. Money's money, but like, bro, you can adapt and change your body and your mind, which is wild to me. And you can do it
Wow.
quick. You do it
Yeah.
so quick.
Yeah, I mean, for some, especially if you're in like a good, healthy state, more or less, you're eating pretty well. I know it's
Mm-hmm.
like you can, like, I'll exercise. I'm not big or anything like that, but I'll exercise for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'll start seeing results right away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so exciting. Like
That's why
it's
I
addicting to be
take
like,
pictures. Like if you're going through any kind of fitness journey at all, I
yeah,
suggest taking pictures, not necessarily every day, but maybe every other day or maybe 3 days a week. Because like once you see those comparisons next to each other, you get this whole other feeling like, holy shit, I'm actually doing something. Let me keep going and see what happens. And like, I don't know where the limit is with this. I don't know how big I'm going to get or how shredded I'm going to get, but I don't think that's the point.
hmm
So
no, it's like you're doing it for yourself.
you're
And
doing
then
it for
whatever
yourself.
perks, whatever benefits you get from be like look in the mirror, or
You
people
get
seeing you.
physical and mental benefits from it.
Totally. Yeah.
So
And I find myself now. I have this new gym. I'm living here in Mexico right now, and I have
that's
this
cool.
amazing gym that I like going to. And they have a sauna and a steam room and everything in there. And dude, I'm like forcing myself to take it easy on the weekends, just like 2 days of
Mhm.
rest, because I had this idea like I'm only gonna lift 3 days. They say that's the magic number, but I'm like, but I want to go to the gym.
You
Like
can
I
do
want to
whatever you
go.
want. Just
So
don't hurt yourself.
yeah, totally. So I do I lift, and then I'll go through different things. And I also they have like a total like kickboxing like little setup in there.
Yeah.
I'm as far as I know, I'm the only person who ever used it. I'm the only guy I see or girl I see in the heavy bags.
You got
But
your own gym. That's cool.
yeah, but I love it, you know, and so it's something that I notice every day. I'm excited for it. Like I look forward to it, and I'm like, I can't wait to go to the gym. Even now, talk about it, I got that glow, right? That smile, like, dude, tomorrow I'm gonna go lift, maybe do some, I don't know, maybe some back day. Let's let back and biceps. We'll hit that sauna again, sweat it out, and that feeling you get from that, and just like the excitement of going towards it. Like I look forward to it. Like it's something that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do that again
Right.
tomorrow, and it's interesting how. And I remember there's times where I would go to the gym and I was this was maybe a year ago, a couple months ago, not too long ago, where it was about a year ago, where I did not want to go. This is especially when I was working at driving for FedEx. And so I had that, like, I was doing a very physical job. I'm
Yeah,
literally
you're already
running.
tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, on your couple off days, or if you finish early, you're like, oh, I don't want to go. And what I did for me that worked was I would force myself to go to the gym. But I would tell myself, if you just get inside, like put on your gym clothes and just get inside the
Just
door,
do
just go there.
something.
Yeah,
Yep.
just going there when you really feel like not doing anything for me was a victory. And then once I'm there, I'm like, well, now that I'm here, I might as well like at least lift something. And then you do that one or two sets and you're like, oh, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Those were always the best, like the most craziest workouts where I did. The ones where I didn't want to go. I didn't want to exercise. I felt like just being lazy, just sitting on the couch, playing games. You know, that's fun and all. But like when I forced myself to do it, it was like, no, I need to do this. Just get in there, you know, just touch his coat. Just get inside the gym and you'll have done at
Just
least
pick up the
something.
dumbbell, man. Just
Yeah,
pick it up.
you'll do something for yourself just by going there. And then once I did that, it was like I got over that hurdle that like I don't feel like doing this. And then once I was doing it, then it became fun. And then I was getting that feedback. Oh
Well,
yeah.
you work out all the time, but how's your eating habits?
Uh
Like, what are you drinking right now? What is that?
this is orange juice.
It's good though.
Is it not good? I'm sure. I don't know. Okay, well,
Carbs and sugar.
yeah, well, as far as eating, I've never done and I probably should, and I'd be happy to hear your thoughts on this actually.
I
Since I
don't
got
do
you
meal
here.
prepping.
Yeah, I'll say I've never looked up anything officially. I just kind of go for what make common sense to me and like what my body's wanting. Like I try to listen to my
Yep.
body, especially when I'm at the gym. I ask myself, all right, who wants to work out today? And I look for like what's feeling sore, what's feeling good. When it comes to eating, sometimes I'll be craving like meat or
Sometimes
steak.
you know you need sugar because you get that feeling like, oh crap, I need some sugar. I'm starting to shake, or oh crap, I'm a little tired. Maybe I should eat some carbs real quick. Like it's for me, I've done this. I'm doing this very differently than I did last time. I'm
Okay.
not counting my calories. I'm not doing my macros at all. I have not even looked at it. I don't even know how much I weigh. Okay.
Nice.
I have not weighed, I've weighed myself
Over
once.
9,000, that's the only number
Over
you want
9,000.
to. Over 9,000. That's the only number I want.
So I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it more so like you said, am I sore here? What does my body need? Like I've cut out carbs almost completely and I've cut out sugars almost completely. I still eat fruit. I like my oranges and I like my grapefruits. So I don't blame you because I love
Oranges are
orange
great,
juice.
man.
But your body will tell you what you need. And here's another thing. If you're trying to lose weight, it's not hard. It's just whatever you put in your mouth. It's too much, turns to fat. It's too less, you lose weight. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else to it. You can do the macros work. But like for me, like you said, it's a conscious thing when you go out. So like I know, oh, I probably shouldn't get that burger, or I probably shouldn't get that. Maybe I'll get a steak, or maybe I'll do a salad, or I mean, heck, I eat eggs every day. So that's like usually my go-to is eggs, or I go to Sonic at least 2 or 3 days a week, and I get their breakfast wraps because they're actually healthy. There's nothing really bad in them. They got tomatoes and sausage and egg, like you know what I'm saying? So Panda Express is another one. They have amazing chicken teriyaki. You don't have to meal prep to be healthy and look good. So I've done the meal prepping stuff. It's expensive and sometimes it's time
It's just
consuming
like a
and
lot of extra work, right?
it's a lot of work. I'd rather just spend the $5 at Subway. And I have a
Yeah.
trick at Subway. I go to Subway almost every day. I tell them to rip out all the bread.
When we're talking about like, meal prepping and a lot of things that we do, I think, and some people do diets and they count their calories. I think one of the issues with that, and someone mentions this, like eventually you're going to fall off because it's just so much work and effort that you hit a wall on it or you just get burnt out.
It should just be something that's natural that should have been taught to us as kids. We don't need 3 meals a day. I think everyone should do intermittent fasting every day. I think it's great for you. I think you should have a small window of an eating time. Like your bodies are not made to drink Pepsi and Coke and like any kind of sodas. Like I drank Red Bulls last night. Don't get me wrong. But like people drink, I know a guy I worked with, he drinks like 6 Mountain Dews a day.
Jeez.
Like he's not even big, but like I know that can't be good for you. Like there ain't no way.
Yeah, there's this like this health thing I learned for a little while when I was studying like hypnotherapy and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
they said, here's a simple question: is it made in the lab or can you make it in the kitchen? And if you can make it in your kitchen, not saying that it's going to be super good, but healthy for you per se, because you're going to eat
Yeah.
lots of sugar in it. But all right, this is a real thing that can be made. If you can't make
You
Coca-Cola
can't
or
pronounce what's on the
yeah,
back of it.
you can't make soda in
it.
like that, like the professional sodas in your own
Yeah.
kitchen. It has to be made in a lab, and it's all these chemical processes. And I mean, like some people can make their own beers and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
when it's like when you read the back of something, this is what really messed up like food for me, honestly. And so I started doing this thing. Don't do it if you want to eat whatever you want to eat, but you go to the store, right? And you just like, oh, that looks good, and maybe it is, and you just turn it around and just look at the ingredients. And when you start reading the ingredients, right, and if it's like a bunch of shit that you don't even know what it is and you can't even like pronounce it right, chances are it's not good for you. Like,
Yeah.
if it's you see like the yellow number 3, and you're like, I really wanted
blue
to eat
one.
that.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
why
like
does it need color? Like
yeah,
it doesn't need color.
Thortolaceting acides, and you're like, okay, I have no idea what this is. I can't eat this, and like that ruined so many things for me. Like even here recently in the stores in Mexico, I've been trying to find good peanut butter, and like and now it's in Espanol, but I'm looking, I'm like palm olives and all these vegetable
Yeah.
oils, and all these things. I'm like, I don't want that. I just want the
Just need
natural.
peanut butter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just give me peanut butter and salt, if anything.
You
Like
might
keep
you
it
might do
simple.
the peanut butter powder. You just put a little bit of
Yeah,
water
maybe
in it.
so. But like that's something that I started doing, and I'm sure someone told me this one time, and I just picked it up, and I like would kick myself for it because sometimes I'm like, oh, dude, this trail mix looks awesome, and I flip it around, it's like all this shit that's not nuts and chocolate, and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn it, because then it's like once I know it's not, what I do is once I know it's not good for me, or I'm like I've got a good feeling,
and
you can
and
try,
that
I just won't buy
it's
it.
not hard if you stay with the basics: fruits, chicken, protein, and steak. Like I don't really eat bread. Like you don't need it. Carbs are for energy, but at the end of the day, I had enough fat on me to survive probably the next 10 years for energy. I don't know. I got packets all over the place.
Then the
Ready to just
apocalypse
go.
did start. So you're like, all right, let's get back to fitness. I don't need
But
this.
I mean, as far as like maintaining like the mental aspect and the physical aspect of things, I'm learning still on how to do that because clearly I don't know how. But this time around, I think after gaining and losing and gaining and losing 3 times, I think it's more so just having things already planned out in your head of what you're going to do. So like, and it could be anything. It doesn't have to be this huge thing. Like I want a new car. Okay. How do I get a new car? Get another job. Okay. I got another job. I still haven't got a new car yet because I'm like, well, maybe I don't need a new car. Maybe I'm back and forth. I'm thinking all the time, like, what can I do? I might buy a garage first before I get a new car so I can put my car in the garage. Like you have to and I don't know. I mean, I'm still learning as every day goes. I'm learning something new. I'm learning how to react to the situation, regardless of like last night. Like my bartender I was just like, you know what, man, we're gonna have a good night. But it wasn't a good night for him because he didn't want it to have be. He didn't want it to be a good night. So,
Yeah.
but I like
But when that happened, you didn't let it phase you. You just figured
nope,
out to
nope. I
kind
said
of,
it's life. He'll figure it out. He'll go home and sleep it off and realize what he did tomorrow. So, and hopefully he learns from it. I mean, that's literally it. If you don't learn from it, then you're gonna keep making the same mistakes like I did. Like
yeah.
it's
See, that's something that I've been learning as well. I kind of call it like the way of water, or like, being like water. But if you look at water, when water's like trying to go somewhere, if it hits resistance like a rock or whatever, it's like, okay, it just comes back, and it
it'll,
just it just
it'll
keeps
go. It'll
flowing.
find a different way. Yeah.
And life will do this to you all the time. Naturally, it's gonna happen where um maybe you've got plans, right? Or you're trying to, like, especially for us, who, if you want, like, I'm going to control this, I'm going to make it just right the way I want it to
Yeah.
be, and then something comes up and it totally goes wrong or goes the opposite way. It's out of your control. There's nothing you can do, like the bartender showing up drunk. And
Expect the
so
unexpected.
you can either like lose your shit over it, you can start freaking out and getting a bad attitude about it, or you can just be like, all right, it is what it is. Now, how I react, though, and how I handle the situation, that's the only thing that I'm in control of. And that's the thing I'm responsible for, right? Is my reaction. So, what do I'm just going to, how do I get around this? How do I make this work? How do I just all have a good night? And that's kind of like, to me, like, that's how water, it always finds that way, and it just kind of, you're fluid. Um, and I know I made that thought for myself, like, yeah, I want to practice that. And then guess what? Bunch of, like, dozens of opportunities for me to practice that the past couple of years have come up. And a lot of times it's like, all right, we're gonna do this. Okay, for instance,
Yeah.
I went to this town in Mexico. I live in Puebla, Mexico right now, and it's called Jalisco. It's like, I don't know, 40 minutes away, 30 minutes away. And I wanted to get all these plants that you see right here, all these beautiful plants.
Okay.
And so I Ubered there. I don't have a car here in Mexico yet. And my plan was like to Uber back, like, duh. I was there calling Ubers. Three of them canceled, 3 to 4 of them canceled on me. And there's no reason. They just didn't want to go. Like, we were like, the planned area is a little bit outside the center, and most of them, they go to the center. Nobody wanted to do that drive for whatever reason. And so we're kind of like in the middle of, I don't say middle of nowhere, but we're on the outskirts of the city. I don't even see a taxi there. And I'm like, shit. Like, and I'm getting frustrated because I have this plan. I'm with my girlfriend or family, and it's like, I had this plan. I'm supposed to be, in charge of this and getting us home. And now
Yeah.
we got a fuckload of plants. Like, sorry, we have a shit ton of plants. I don't know if that's better. And I don't know, maybe like 12, 16 plants. There was more stuff than like each person could carry in each
Right.
hand. So I'm like, how am I going to do this? And then this old rinky-dinky Mexican bus pulls up, and they're just like, we'll take the bus. The thought hadn't crossed my mind, because I didn't know anything about it. But it's like, all right, yeah, we gotta take the bus. And it's like, hold up, Alto, you stop. And then we load all these plants and things on this back of this bus, which this is like truly a Mexican experience. And load everything on the bus. The bus is going to take us basically back to the center of the town, where then we can get sweet talk a taxi into going. And I've learned something here, like well, I have another story on that, but the Ubers, the drivers, a lot of times they'll be like, oh no, I can't do that. They don't want to do it. The taxis, though, here in Mexico, they are like old school gangsters. Like, they're like, fuck yeah, let's do that. Let's throw it in. So we load all the plants fit somehow in the back of this guy's taxi, because we take the bus back to the center. Then
Yeah.
my girlfriend's mom, she like sweet talks the taxi guy. And of course, the cool thing is we get this guy's number. He's awesome. I think it's a Chris, and not Chris. It's like, well, it's like Chris. We get I forget his name actually. We get him, get his number. He takes us, he drives all the way back to home, and he's now been this the second time we went to Lexco and got more plants. It's called the same guy, because he's the dude that like gets shit done. But the moral of that story was, I had in my mind this plan. We're gonna Uber there and Uber back, and I can control that, and I can make that work, and I can be, I can make this happen, and everyone's relying on me. And when that fell through, I started feeling that, like, shit, like, what do we do? And it's like obvious, but the situation was out of my control, right? There was nothing I could do about it. And then it was like, well, let's just go with the next solution. Take the bus to the center, take a taxi back. Everything was great. And everybody had a blast. And it was like a reminder. This was about a month ago. It was like a reminder for me, dude, you just don't stress it. Just, if something happens, you just find your way around.
It doesn't ruin your day. It might have ruined the moment, but you don't have to let it ruin the whole thing. So and you make the best out of everything. Like that's try to look at the positivities literally
Yeah,
all the
no,
time.
now I want to talk about I know there's a big thing on like daily routines. But I do, you mentioned that you have some like that you do meditation, and I think you
Mm-hmm.
said journaling. Tell me about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like these new habits that you've
So
developed.
whether it's in the morning or at night when I get home from work, I try to put like three things in my journal. So literally, I just put day, whatever. I try to put something I'm grateful for, something I want to improve, and then just something like anything, like doesn't matter whether it's I love my dogs or I can't wait to game tomorrow. I just write something that's on my mind. So, um, and then I meditate for like 10 minutes a day. I usually just try to get some sort of silence somewhere, sit down and just think. So, that's something new for me. I've never journaled. I've never done any kind of like meditation stuff before. I thought it was
Mhm.
silly. But now that
Yeah.
I've actually been doing it, like I understand, like I'm so much more self-aware of why I'm doing stuff now. Like I don't feel like I never was a robot, but I just was very closed off from anything that could actually like help me grow. Me
Mm.
like looking at him like, oh, that's not gonna help me. I was just very, I don't know the word for it, but yeah,
You're closed
negative.
off. Yeah.
Very closed off. Yeah.
So yeah, interesting because you mentioned even before when you were in that kind of dark place that someone you'd see something happen in someone's life and you're like, I don't care, it's not my problem. But in a weird way, you know, you were struggling yourself, so maybe you just didn't have anything to give or offer anybody. You were struggling, right?
Yeah.
Now though, you've got your cup full, you're doing amazing, you're thriving, you're glowing. You know, I see it. Like you just look awesome, man. It's not like just like the fitness, the shape. Like you have that glow. You can see it in your face. You got that your mojo back, so to speak,
Yeah.
right?
My
Mojo.
mojo.
Yeah, I love that. There's
Get
this
in my belly.
Dude, I love that word mojo. It's so great. There's this little I don't know, green hell shot at one of those places I like here in Mexico. And it's called the Mojo Jojo. And every time I think about mojo. But you got it. And so now you're more aware, right? Like when
Mhm.
you saw the not to keep going back to the same story, but you saw the bartender was clearly struggling. He's not making good choices for himself, right? And I'm sure it sounds like there was a bit of empathy, compassion you felt from him, like, oh man, this person's clearly
Yeah.
struggling, they're fucking up their life.
Big time.
I can't fix it for them, but you're more
I
aware of.
tried. I was like, look, let's go in and have a good night. And he's like, yeah, yeah, let's go and have a good night. And then just ended up being worse. Like, and it's, you can only say and do so much for people. And like, even for me, whether what kind of state of mind I was in, like, I wasn't open to listening to people. So I was not taking people's advice. So I was just going down the same road.
Wow. Turn a little, maybe get a little metaphysical or so to speak for you, but something that's been blowing my mind lately is that and it's like we think we live in one world, but actually there's like millions of them, right? And everybody's
Mhm.
in their own reality, so to speak, their own world, right? Yeah, yeah, it's all here on earth, but like everybody has their own reality. And even my grandma said that to me one day. We got into something about, I don't know, some story on the news, whatever. And I pulled it up. I'm like, actually, grandma, that's not what happened. Look, like this is the actual video. And she goes, nah, yeah, I love my girl. She's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
She's like, well, clearly you live in a different world than I do, because in her world that never could have happened. But
That,
in my
yeah,
world, I
yeah.
was looking at like what I saw
It's
happen,
like, it's right here. It's on the phone.
and
Yeah.
that stuck in my mind that people actually live in different realities, and so
Mm-hmm.
in a weird way, it almost seems like when the old experiences you were having, you were like, you're right, when you were in that different mindset, you were like living in a different world almost.
Yeah,
Like it's like a
literally, I
different you, a
was.
different
Like,
reality, a different experience.
I said this on my Instagram the other day. Like, looking back 60 days, even 90 days from now, if those two people would have had a conversation with each other, they would have been very, very different. And like, I don't even recognize myself looking back just 2 months ago because of like the shit I was doing, man. Like, I was just, it wasn't me. I got way too comfortable and I don't know, I turned into a robot.
Wow. Now you've got that life force, you got that mojo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing. So what are you talked about goals, right? And things you want to
Mhm.
create for yourself other than like the car and the garage. What are things that are inspiring to you and like get you excited for looking forward? Because I think something that's very important is having not just like goals, but having things that we're looking forward to that we're working towards.
So this is something I have thought about, and there is things per se, like maybe like a bucket list, I guess. Just having things that I really want to do. I've never been one to like travel, but I really want to go check out Alaska. I think that'd be
Oh,
really
hell
cool.
yeah.
Um, that's something that's been on my mind. So like I'm thinking next year I'm gonna do that. So
That's my last
um,
date.
oh yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I almost did it back in 2018, but for some reason I haven't gone. And I wonder if there's a part of me that's like, well, I want to scratch
Bro,
off the
we could
last one.
plan something. We go out there together. That'd be
I
cool.
mean, that would be pretty amazing,
That was
actually.
pretty dope. Yeah,
I was gonna
I'd be
say, like,
down.
I really gotta like I've been saying I was gonna visit you for like 5 years.
And then I finally got my house, and then life happened and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And then you're doing your thing. So
Well, that would be awesome, man. And obviously,
yeah,
if you ever want to come down to Mexico, you gotta place
yeah,
here anytime.
that'd be
So
really cool.
yeah,
Hey, you
so
like it there? Is it fun?
I really like it here, man. So
Yeah.
I've been coming to Mexico since well, so basically oh yeah, I've been coming to Mexico since April, and I came in
Okay.
April, came again in May. I was back here in July,
Oh
spent
my
most of
gosh.
July here in California, and then I came back in what was it, like September, October, and then and in October, my girlfriend and I, she got the inspiration, like, we should look at like apartments or something. She didn't say it like that. And I was like, dude, because okay, so I had this goal for myself, which I'm finding out if it's actually something I want to do or not. But it was like a dream. Okay, because you gotta like it's something cool. It's like, dude, I want to have 3 homes around the world. Like a place in Mexico, because like here, maybe a place over in
Mhm.
like the Balkans, like the Mediterranean, like Croatia or something, and then maybe somewhere over in like Asia or in the US, but like have 3 different locations I can spend my time with because I love traveling and I love being different areas.
Mhm.
That's a really cool goal, right? Like that's a cool for
Yeah,
me.
that
That's
would be
like
wild.
and it's like that's something I can. They say success. The old definition, I think by Nightingale guys, success is the worthy. What's it called? Like success is the continual realization of a worthy ideal. So it's something that you're working towards to, and if you are doing that, that you're a success. And so I was like, dude, I'm a success. I'm scoping out places. I'm basically living in
Yeah,
Mexico. So I found this place on here, and it's
it's pretty
I
cool.
have this beautiful three bedroom house where I'm on the rooftop garden up here, and it's what's kind of like the Beverly Hills of this area of Mexico, and it's amazing. And this experience, because it's total new for me to do this, is
Oh
growing me,
yeah.
expanding me, and teaching me like and showing me, oh, okay, what do I actually want? Is this something that's going to
I
be
mean, that's a full life changer, man. You're in a is
totally
there does
well?
anyone
So
there speak English at all? Or is it
a little bit Paquito.
yes.
Well,
So
my and the thing is, my Espanol is terrible,
it's
but
better than mine. I would be
uh,
like, dude, I'd be lost.
so yeah, but so basically, this is something that's very passionate. I'm very excited about, and you mentioned this. I'll go back because I don't want to talk about myself too much while I'm interviewing you. But one thing that I love doing, it blows my mind, is looking back. Where was I just 1 year ago? Now, sometimes when
Bro,
you do that, you
yeah.
were 1 year ago, you were in a better place. Like when you're down in the dumps, you're like, shit, a year ago I was flying high, you know. And but then a year later, you can be back up, soaring better than you ever were. A year ago, I during the I want to like get into it too much, but during like the lockdown years, where everyone
Mhm.
went to the kind of health stuff,
Yeah.
I ended up because right before that I lost the job I was doing, everything shut down. I ended up driving for FedEx, which was one of the greatest, most difficult experiences of my life. Like it really grew me so much in so many ways,
Yeah.
especially like managing a team of like 5 to 10 people, and you're dealing with all these people's emotions, and you're dealing with
Yeah.
this like very difficult job. It's way harder than most people think. And it got to that point where I was like, I gotta go adventure. Like I'm craving it.
Gotta go do
And
something.
so I
Yeah.
made the decision last August or a year ago in the summer that I was gonna, and I call my boss, and him and I were like really close. And I was like, hey, I, I gotta go do this thing. I gotta go do this, adventure. And I didn't I got really close to them. So I didn't want to say I was going to go forever, but basically we are going to do this thing. And we agreed that like I'd stay till to help them do the holiday season. And February would be my last month, and then I'd go. And so I made a decision that I was going to go travel the world, and I didn't have I had like saved up a bunch of money and everything like that, or a good amount of money. I ended up losing all my savings in a crypto scam, like like $10,000, dude. I lost $10,000. Just like burnt, just stolen from me, and it was my fault.
Bro.
And and it was like all my money that I've been saving up for like
Did you
grinding.
learn from your
Oh,
mistakes?
I did. I mostly did,
Okay.
but I lost probably much every
Jeez.
money I ever put in investments. I always lost, but I learned a lot. But it was this thing is like, and I felt this like, oh my god, here I am about to go to like travel the world, leave my job, and I have like a good thing, management, doing everything right, and making not amazing money, but actually no, actually I shouldn't say it. I made the most money that year that I ever had before through ways, and so like everything was great, but I was leaving that for this soul thing, something that I had to do, because
Yeah.
I got to that point where I'm like, I'm not growing. I'm not happy here. I started getting really angry with the system I was working with and the
Hmm.
people. Everybody orders like a bunch
It
of
just
stupid
it
stuff.
drains you. You're around
Yeah,
people that are all negative all the time. Like if you go to any job, is anyone ever happy when they're at work? No, there might be one or two people that are in a pretty good mood, but like every job I've had for the past, except for my gym job, and I think that's why I was so healthy for so long, is because I worked there for 10 years when I ran my gym facility,
yeah.
and I worked out all the time. I was healthy. Like that was the time period where I was doing amazing. Um,
Well, I noticed something about this job. I think a lot of like jobs are like this, or a lot of things in life, I guess. But me and the other employees were all oranges. All the juice was being squeezed out of us.
yeah.
It was the utility, right? Like a lot of guys, people say guys with utility, but it's like everybody in this job, like everybody was just being squeezed and pressed as much as possible to get the maximum effort, maximum benefit, maximum, money from us. And at first I was able to do that, but I got to that point where I was also, when I started flying high, meditation, I was doing a lot of healing. This is like
Yeah.
getting into fitness. This is a huge growth for me. But I noticed it got to the point where like the job was breaking me down. Like physically, I
Hmm.
was breaking down. Mentally, I started to break down. And I realized like I have to leave because like if I stay here and I just keep getting consumed and I keep getting used up, eventually I'm going to be no good to anybody. Like my cup is empty and I got to go fill it. And for me, that was going to do something that I was excited for, this
Yep.
adventure. And so, and then that was a amazing thing. And I watched it happen to the other people around me, like where those people who didn't make that choice for themselves, just getting like some of the best guys got
It's funny you
broken
say that.
down,
Yeah. It's
and
at my security job, real quick. At my
yeah, go
security
ahead.
job, I was the first one to leave. So I have another job and I love it, dude. Like it's awesome. I only have like 12 employees and like we get our job done. We get to go home. Don't have to work weekends. I don't even have a phone. Like it's awesome.
Sweet.
But at the security job, I had a lot of friends I worked with for multiple years that were there with me. And when I left, it I everyone it just I guess they realized because they saw me after literally 2 months turn into a whole different person. Everyone quit. Everyone.
Wow.
I had multiple people reach out like, "What? I've seen your pictures. What are you doing? Like, how are you feeling? Like, I feel great. I feel the best I've ever felt because I'm not there anymore. Like, you
You,
need to find another job. Like,
you became
that
like
job is
Moses
killing you."
for them or something.
I did.
you
Literally, there's
let you
only
led
one
them to
manager
freedom.
left. There's one
Wow.
manager left, and they were the ones that were there before me. So
Because you told me
it's
about that, right? That
crazy.
your similar situation. You were in a job that at first was super beneficial, right? Financially, you were doing great. You were able to
I
get a
I
house.
was I was working for I was running Amazon security downtown Nashville. I ran like basically all the buildings. If I need to go cover one, vice versa, if someone's out, like I ran the biggest. What was it? The biggest Amazon building downtown Nashville. I ran that one for security. It was like
Wow.
27 floors or something. But um,
But it got to the point where it
I
was
loved it.
consuming you,
That job
right?
was awesome. I had no issues with that. I got promoted and I accepted it. And when I got promoted, I left Amazon and went to go work for this company directly, not
Mm.
through Amazon. So I was actually running, I was I wasn't allowed to run Amazon, but I was basically running Amazon plus like 30 other buildings now. It was a big promotion, man. It was a big one.
Wow.
Like it changed my life and I learned so much doing it, which I'm so grateful for because it gave me management opportunities like where I can bro, I can run a security company. Like I know what to do. Like I know how to hire. I know how to discipline. I know how to teach people to do the basics of security. Like it was cool. Um, but yeah, then that went all downhill. It was just too stressful. Like just like I said, horror stories every day. Something had to have happened. There couldn't have been a normal night. I couldn't sleep. It got into my I've learned my time's very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And like it took time for my relationship. It took time for myself. It took time for my dogs. It took time for my family. Like, and even when I wasn't working and I'd come home, I was always conscious that my phone was going to ring and I was always tired because I never got to sleep. And it was like that for months on end. It never really slowed down for me until I quit. And when I quit, it was an instant like relief. Like,
Wow.
oh, wow. I mean, I still get calls every week from the security company because people need
Yeah.
help, but like it's not stressful anymore for me.
Yeah, wow. You know, and sometimes we get into something where we're working so hard, we're so focused on it, and or we're so consumed by our own struggle
Mhm.
that we don't realize how bad it really is, right?
You don't. And
Like,
not
and
even
then
the
you take
closest
that
people
weight off your
around you even know.
shoulders, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, whoa. I didn't realize I was really
I can
losing it.
almost fly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's something I've been learning as well. Like, oftentimes we're taught the success, right? You know,
Mhm.
it's go higher, higher, keep going, more promotions, more responsibility, you know, like that, more money. And there's a balance, right, for each person. That's right. And one thing I remember is the guy who was basically ran the company, the right hand man of the owner
Yeah.
of this multi-million-dollar driving company. This guy's name's Baxton, and Baxton is an awesome guy, but he was always stressed out, always. And I had this, you know, and I already, you know, got promoted up into management. I was managing teams, you know, of like, you know, like I said, 5, 10,
Yeah.
12 guys at a time. But I had this realization. This was like an aha moment for me. Is I don't want to be Baxton. I don't ever
Mm-mm.
want to be Baxton. Like, I don't even think Baxton wants to be Baxton, but I definitely don't want
Yeah.
to be Baxton. And it was like, because you know, there's this oftentimes like, oh, well, what do I do next? All right, next promotion, more money, more status, more achievement. And I was like, no, dude. Like, I almost didn't really want to be a manager because I knew that when I did, I would be stepping up into bigger responsibility, right? Because I've been done management leadership before, and
Mhm.
being a leader is amazing opportunity and role to be able to help people, and you learn a lot from it yourself. I think you learn more being a leader and managing people than you do just being the regular guy. But
Yeah.
being the regular guy is freaking awesome. Like, it's way, you know, you don't get like that. You don't get
It's
that like
underrated.
yeah, you don't get that feeling of accomplishment per se, but you
Mhm.
don't have all the extra responsibility. So I found out for me, there's a point where I was like, I'm good. I don't want more than that, you know. And even now, like with the work I'm doing now, I know like going into 2023, there's going to be, because I travel for work and stuff and I love what I do. I really do. But I know that there's going to be times where I'm going to have to say, no, thanks. I don't want all this money for give me a week or two off. Like, and that's going to be, you know, maybe, you know, that's going to be a lot of money that I'll be turning down. But I'm like, I got to do that. Because I know there's going
Yeah.
to be a time where I'm like, it's not worth it. I'd rather go
Money's
home.
money, dude.
Yeah. I'd rather go
I've
home and
had
be
a
with my
lot of
girlfriend,
money.
you know?
I've had no money, and it doesn't. It as long as you can be comfortable in your atmosphere and make it. You know, you have your home. You can pay for that. That's it. You don't need all this extra money. I went on tour with Upchurch and I made all kinds of money, bro. I remember walking home with like $4,000 in 2 days.
Dang.
It was fun. I got to go on tour with him, and like right now, I can confidently say this is the most money I'll be making I've ever. Like, I'm. It's crazy, man. Like, never in my wildest dreams would I think I'd be making this much money. And again, it's just a material thing. I don't really care about money, and I want to help people too. So and there's things I want to do, which you have to have money. So it's one of those things. But I have a very different outlook on money now.
So now you said you're valuing your time much more,
Hmm.
right? And you're finding a better
Yeah.
balance. And you said that you're setting goals for yourself. You want to travel to Alaska. So what are some other things that you're looking forward to that you've
So
realized you really want to do?
I haven't. thinking about opening my own business, and I don't
Okay.
know. I have an idea. I really want to do a gym, but like I know that it's probably not smart because of, first of all, COVID literally ruined basically the gym I used to run.
Hmm.
And working out is such a hard thing to convince people to do because being lazy is just so much easier.
Maybe this is a terrible idea for you, but have you thought about starting your own security company? Since you mentioned that you
I
have
want to
all that, you
I
don't want to
want
touch
to stay
that.
far away from security as possible,
Okay, I
dude.
wasn't sure if that was
No.
one of those things where it's like I got all the lessons, I can use
No.
them now. No, that's okay. That's okay. It's the same
I
thing.
learned
I
from
never
it and
want to
I
do
moved.
FedEx again.
I'm using it in other aspects of my life. So,
Yeah. But so I'm really though impressed, man, and I'm excited to show everybody your progress and the transformation you've gone through. And so you said you've done this kind of wrap it up with this. You've done this journey 3 times at least now, where you fall down, you build yourself up, you transform yourself. But this time it's different. And this time
Mhm.
it seems like a lot of that, as you said, your mindset, the way you think about things, the way you're saying things. Can you talk more about that? Like just the way you're looking at life and the way you're looking at yourself and kind of the shift you've made that way.
Yeah, I don't look at what I'm doing as a physical aspect of anything. I think that's the difference this time around is I know that if I can mentally and physically sync up, then I will be my best version of myself. And I never I never realized that up until this past year. Um, I I got too sucked into acting and modeling and looking good, being ripped and like just trying to how do I say it? Trying to just be this person I wasn't, I guess. And like now, so it's like now that I'm in sync, and of course I've got so much more growing to do, but I feel like my body and my mind have caught up to each other finally after many years. It hasn't just been a few months. It's been many years where my body and mind have not been synced up. And I think this time around, with that being a self-awareness that I have, I'm conscious of it all the time. And me putting limitations and boundaries on my life and like what I even like to do and having the discipline to not game all the fucking time has been one of the hardest things for me, bro, because it's an addiction, bro. I had a
Yeah.
problem and like I realize that now that regardless of how good you are, you can't sing for 12 hours straight. Your voice would go out.
Yeah.
You can't dance for 12 hours straight. Your legs would start hurting. I mean, some probably do, but I mean,
But that every day, yeah, it's too
you
much.
have to have a balance because if it's something you like, then it needs to be something in your life that's important, and important things aren't just always there, right? You have to balance it out. So that's what I've taken away from this time is have fun in the moment, every moment, no matter which moment. Limit yourself, don't give too much of yourself away, and just be self-aware and conscious of what's going on with yourself. So
Awesome, man. Awesome.
yeah.
Well, Jordan, it's been a pleasure having you on and talking
Spiritual
with you.
Jordan here.
Guru Jordan. Yeah, can you give us some of your classic accents there?
Like, dude, come on, man. Like, I'm just trying to find my Scooby snacks. Yeah, Scooby snacks.
I love that, man. Well, Jordan,
Yeah.
thank you so much, man. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, and I would love to have a continuation of this and maybe check
Yeah,
up in the
man.
next couple months.
Sure. Yeah.
We
See where
definitely
we're
should
at.
do a
And
trip to Alaska.
I'm down.
That'd
Hey,
be
I'm
sweet.
serious,
Winter
bro.
or summer? What do you
I don't
preference?
care. Whatever, man. We'll
That's a
just find
very
a day
different
that
Alaska
works.
experience, right?
Well, hey, you sounds like you know more about it than I do, so I'll let you choose.
Well, I was gonna go in March of for my birthday of was it 2020, like right before
Okay.
the
Yeah.
stuff
And you
hit.
couldn't go.
But
Yeah.
I decided instead because I was like,
Okay.
do I really want to go? Because I was going to see the Northern Lights. I've always wanted to see them.
So
I'm
that's
like,
what I
that would
want to
be an
go.
amazing thing,
That
right?
and see the
So you
just
can see
the
it in March.
yeah.
But I decided instead I got this inspiration to kind of reconnect with my roots, part of my roots and my lineage, and I went to Ireland and Scotland instead.
Cool.
I connected to like the Irish and Celtic roots I have from my dad's side, and that was amazing. And
I heard it's beautiful there.
dude, it's incredible. Now in
Yeah.
March, it's kind of brutal. Like it was chilly and cold and rainy, but I had so much fun. I
Yeah.
Every time I look back, I'm like, dude, that was so amazing. And the crazy thing is, I almost got stuck in Scotland because when I was over there, I met this like a kind of a friend follower, on Instagram, this
Mhm.
really cool Scottish girl, and I basically got kind of I started kind of got stuck with her almost, and which would have been fun for a little while, but then would have been, after a while, you're like, I need to go home.
You
But
need
I
to go
got that like
home. Yeah, I don't
gut
live here.
instinct. I got that gut instinct that was like, because I kept like extending the trip because I was really having fun out there. I mean, you're in Ireland, you're in Scotland, you're like, I
Yeah.
want to go home. But I got this, and like things were really up in the air, right? But I got this gut feeling is like, you need to go home. I can't remember what it was, like the 23rd, maybe 27th. Let's say it's 23rd. It's like this day, you have to get home by this day, or you're not going to make it. Something in me was like very like that inner being, that
Yeah. You
guide
knew.
was
Yeah.
like, I have to get home. And that morning, I showed up to the airport. My flight that I had scheduled, United Airlines, whatever, there was nothing that said it was canceled or changed. They were just gone. I mean, there was not a single person there from United Airlines, not a single one. I found out from the other airline that was next to him. I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh yeah, they're only doing one flight a day now in the morning at like 7 a.m. And I was there at like 10 or 11. I'm like, no one told me this. They're like, oh, well,
Sorry.
yeah, so I ended up having to book. So I lost like I had to book another flight because my first one with American got canceled because they're like, yeah, because what's going on at that time. And then the United Airlines basically just was just like, screw it, we're out of here. And then I ended up booking with the this was in Ireland with whatever was like the national Irish line, I forget what it's called. And which now looking back makes way more sense to go with like the
Yeah.
national line. But yeah, so I had to book another flight. It was like, I don't remember what it was, like $600 last minute just to get home. And then I found out
Rough.
that night, because I was staying in Scotland, right? And then I flew into Dublin and then back home. I found out that night they where I was staying in Edinburgh, Scotland, went into like total lockdown, martial law, for like nobody was leaving. So like I left that morning, that afternoon, that night, no more. So I literally would have been stuck there for what, 6, 9 months, whatever it was been. And so that gut feeling that was like, get the fuck
That's
out right now.
wild,
Yeah.
bro.
Because I found, and like
Wow.
a lot of places around the world, like not to get into it, but
Yeah.
they China, like still locked down.
China's still doing it. Yeah.
So not to get in that conversation, because that's a whole nother thing, but
Mhm.
that was this amazing adventure. And then it was like, get the fuck home right now. You got to get out.
Yeah, you got lucky, man. That's crazy. You
Yeah.
got that
So
gut feeling. It's sometimes you just got to follow your gut feeling.
yeah, and then that's when I went
Yeah.
into like one of the deepest depressions of my life, just being stuck home for like 2 months straight and having no work, and all my plans totally went disappeared.
Yeah.
But
No one to talk to. I mean, that's yeah.
yeah, but anyways, Jordan, so I'm super excited to continually watch you and see you grow and transform, and dude, it's just awesome. And
Thanks,
don't
man.
forget to keep filling your cup up, man, because
Yeah.
the
I
more
want it
you
to
do
be
that,
overflowing.
yeah,
Overflowing.
because you really are. You're sharing that with everybody else, and me talking to you and seeing you is inspiring me. I'm like, yeah, like, I think I'm doing great, but am I doing Jordan great right now? Like I gotta keep it going.
Dude, it's funny. I ran into someone last night at the bar. He's like, Jordan Clark. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know him. And he's like, dude, I follow you on Instagram. I appreciate everything that you're doing right now. You've been motivating the shit out of me. I was like, wow. Like, I'm just fucking working right now. Like, that's such a cool feeling.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool, man.
awesome.